Hi, I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor.
I'm Pauline Mosley. Welcome to our show.
And today we're going to have a really interesting show. My guest is Alka, Shukla, and Sania Samad. And both of them have been very involved in the community. And they had a very successful and inspiring quilt project in Ardsley. So maybe just to start, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you, Paul and Pauline. I'm Alka Shukla. I live in Ardsley, and I have been a Greenburgh resident since 2010. We love this community, and we want to make it a better place for us, for our children, and for generations to come. And I was the co-chair of Ardsley Multicultural Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And we have worked with the town of Greenburgh for Teen Task Force. And even before that, Paul has been extremely generous with his time, resources, for anything that's needed by the community.
And your daughters have been really amazing, doing a lot of great things for the town.
Thank you, Paul.
You want to tell a little bit about what they've done?
Okay. So it all started when my older daughter, who is a STEM enthusiast, she wanted to do a lot of things related to STEM. So they worked on some projects with their partner, Khushi Goel. And those projects really meant to have a real world implications. And they got the platform through Greenburgh, town of Greenburgh, to spread it to the community. Then COVID happened, and when everyone was struggling, like how to help out the community. Then the kids, again, the same set of kids, Khushi Goel, Tanya Shukla, my daughter, and Ananya Shukla, then Harvind Dhura, and few more children. They were like, how do we help the community? And then the grown-ups, we decided yes, it's COVID, it's a health care crisis, but it eventually shows the disparity in the community. And it was very evident that even in an affluent town like Westchester, there is a huge socioeconomic divide. So they wanted to work on food insecurity, which led to two caring cupboards in Westchester, one at Grace Church, and another one was at Greenburgh Health Center.
So people basically
That's fabulous.
need food. They could go to the Greenburgh Health Center, and there's prepared canned foods that people could take. And every time I go, you see people taking it, and your
Wonderful.
daughter was responsible for that.
Wow.
And Sania, you also have been involved.
Yes. I'm a resident of Greenburgh, and the reason we moved to Ardsley was its diversity. We were in Eastchester initially, and we came here, and then after a few years, COVID happened. At that time, Ardsley was AMDI, Ardsley Arts Commission, Multicultural Committee. They were having community conversations. In one of the community conversations, somebody raised the point that we should have a lawn sign. I am a trained textile designer, and I run my own studio. So I just volunteered that I will design that. So that's how my connection with our AMDI, Ardsley Multicultural Committee, started. Didn't know about mayor, who was the mayor at that time. And anyways, so the lawn sign started, we made the lawn sign. And during that time, I had some conversation with Mayor Cablevision, and I said, I want to make a quilt, because I'm a textile artist, and America has a strong and a long history of quilt making. And since I've moved to States, which was in 2004, I've been thinking of making a quilt because I've seen so many quilts, American quilts. And she was like, okay, that's fine. And then in 2023, Gaza happened. And that's the first time I realized that the town of Ardsley, which I always thought is full of diversity and everybody is a friend, that was not the situation. People have very strong opinions when it comes to this. And I'm a Muslim, I'm from Pakistan, and I have a strong opinion also. And there was a lot of anger in the beginning. So I thought I'm going to make a flag, Palestinian flag, huge flag, and everybody will join and do these kind of things. But when I went to different organizations, everybody was a little concerned about the proposal, and mostly it was a security concern. And that made me think, okay, this is not a solution then. But we need to get together. We need to find who are we living with? What is our community? And being an artist, my solution is through a creative process. So I wrote a proposal about quilt, and I sent it to Mayor Cablevision and Deputy Mayor Ardsley. And they just accepted it wholeheartedly. They were like, okay, let's do it. Let's talk about it. And that's how the project started. The idea, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's really amazing. And it's sort of interesting because I was thinking you're from India and you're from Pakistan. And the Indian
Exactly,
and Pakistani
exactly.
governments have been, they always have problems.
Yes.
But here
Yes.
locally, the Indian community and Pakistani community get
Fabulous.
along. So
Yes.
actually it shows that we don't need politicians. If there were no politicians in the world, then the world would have no
peace.
wars and would be at peace.
Good politicians are very good, like Mayor Cablevision. She was the one who was extremely supportive. She did not say once, no, you can't do that. She would always say, okay, this is what you want to do. Let me find out a solution, how you can do this. So we use, it was a 1.5-year project. It started, when we started, it was an 8-month project. But somehow I knew it was going to take more time because the condition is that you have to do embroidery. No prior knowledge of embroidery was required. The only thing was you come to the sessions. That was the requirement. The second requirement was we will not buy any fabric. We will use the fabric from home for the quilt squares. So each participant had a 14 inches by 14 inches square. And they had to find the fabric from home. It can be your kitchen towel, which you feel some association, or a blanket your mother had, or a blanket your child had. You know, it's up to you, whichever. And then you had to, each participant had to write a short story about their relationship to Ardsley. And in that writing short story, your families, we asked the participants, involve your family, write your story, think about it. So everybody write a short story. Based on that short story, they were asked to make designs. Like Alka, in Alka's short story is about her home, and then if you'll see her square, it is her home, very abstract, highly designed, but it's her home. And then there are people who were living in Ardsley for like 40 years. So the Ardsley library is there on the quilt. And then because I did the lawn sign, so I embroidered the lawn sign onto the square. So this is how it started. And the town provided threads, yes, initially. And then, you know, everybody could find embroidery threads from their home. Then it became it was like a get-together. And Paul, I'm very familiar with this idea of women mostly because I come from Pakistan, from a joint family system. And for my first 30 years of my life, I lived in this huge house with 3 of my uncles, aunts constantly and all the time visiting. And usually at night, if people are staying, the women of the household, they used to get together, sit and do embroideries. And this was a time of catharsis also. The family politics, their personal lives were openly discussed. And it used to be a veranda, like a courtyard. in the house, and the kids were playing there. And they were doing these intricate embroideries and creating these beautiful pieces, and we are watching them. And so this was like transmission of knowledge, creative arts through family gatherings. So I knew this will work somehow. Over here, it should work.
So when you in Ardsley, did people do their work together, or did most people do it at home by themselves?
So when the idea was first, brought by Sania to the committee, we wanted something where people can get together. They have a purpose to come out of their house, work collaboratively. And one thing which I absolutely admired about the whole experience, there was absolutely no competition. And also because Sania was the creative head artist,
Right.
she was, and I can't speak enough how much support she provided, because someone like me, I have never embroidered in my life, and I was probably the last one to even complete my square, because throughout the time I was like, it's not looking good, I don't know if it's, because I have this huge vision what I can do.
Right.
But when you start putting in the form of drawing, it is
Complex.
hard, but the support was there.
So for you, because you're more of an activist and like taking on causes and doing things, just sitting and working on quilts, did you find it like tough because you're just sitting still rather than working on all these causes?
So
Do you,
that's a very good question, and I can speak on behalf of other participants and community members as well, along with my experience with the whole thing. What it really enabled us to do. So quilt is just a symbolic thing. Our square was just a purpose, what we can do together.
Right.
When Sania asked us to think what we want that square to be, that was the moment to reflect. You know, what matters the most to us, what we want to be documented for many, many years to come. And that was a reflection. And that's where we realized, oh, we love our home. We love our community. And that was really good from our side. And it also teaches us to slow down. Like, when
very
you sit down,
therapeutic.
it's very therapeutic. And I travel a lot for my work. And Sania used to be like, Alka, when you are sitting in plane, you can embroider, you can make the drawing. So also utilizing the time effectively as well.
And
having to-
creatively
yeah.
and positively. That's all these things, these words which we use all the time: creativity, positivity. Let's do something with hands. There's a connection with your
Yes.
brain also. All of that has got involved, and we realized that, for me at least, I realized that how important the community is.
right? You're suggesting that we do the same thing in Greenburgh.
Yes.
So we've had a successful, we had like
What a
a
great
successful quilt in
Ardsley.
Ardsley.
Yes.
And now, and I think I asked the Commissioner of Parks and our Arts Council if we could exhibit the quilts, and I think they were open to it.
Yes.
But we're looking at another project for Greenburgh residents. Could you
Wonderful.
tell us, what you're envisioning?
So for the Greenburgh, this is one step ahead of Ardsley Story Quilt. Over here, I want everybody to think about homes. What is home to you? Is it just four walls around you? Is it your people that makes the home? What is it? Because homes are very important. And if unfortunately when I'm watching TV and what's happening around the world and how people's homes are being destroyed,
Yes.
we really have to question ourselves and have empathy for that, if nothing else. When Gaza happened, for 4 months, I couldn't eat food, you know, just because I was constantly looking at the videos. My husband is a psychiatrist by profession. Finally, he diagnosed me. He said, stop watching those videos all the time. This is how much it affects us when you see. So this is a more more serious note. I want people to think about homes, their spaces, how important those spaces are, how important those people are, how important the people who are driving on those roads. We are also crossing them. We don't know them, but these are very important people. They make our town a town, a village a village. Yes, and so this is the idea.
Could there be a quilt project where we're highlighting our acceptance of diversity in the town? So I'm saying is
Yes.
that, so you know, the thing is, Greenburgh has many different cultures, and we basically want to say we want to. It's sort of a contrast to Washington. We want to show that we're welcoming different groups, different religions, different ethnicities.
Absolutely.
So could that be sort of a theme? Because one of the things that I'd like to do is get everybody to live together in peace and to respect each other. Even politically, there could be people who have different political
Absolutely.
views, and we should accept it. So would that be a possible theme?
Yes, in our mission statement, and I think I've shared the mission statement, community development, belonging to, and the idea of hope, all these things are there, and diversity is automatically part of it. I mean,
So-
this is America. This is a land of immigrants. So diversity comes automatically, but we can, you know, and especially, I mean, as far as Ardsley is concerned, if you'll see the Ardsley Story Quilt, you will, in one glance, you will know this is diverse, a diverse group of people, Chinese, Indians, Pakistanis. You will see the effect in those in that quilt, and yeah.
May I
definitely
just say
that.
something? What I find so inspirational is you said at the beginning of this story that, you know, instead of responding to a negative situation where neighbors were, you know, not looking at the view correctly, or there was like anger and hostility there, you thought of a way to diffuse that through your art. Through being an artist and saying, what can I do with my skill set as an artist? And I see the quilts almost as like a metaphor of these individuals, when each individual hooks onto another individual, what we can make together as a whole. And so having everybody reflect on their own story and then sew these little squares together
Yeah.
is really, it's deeper than just the quilt and community. It's like you said, taking time to hear everyone and everyone taking their attention off of their differences and focusing on what we have in common and what we can do together as a community. So I find this is a beautiful model that could be used and replicated, Paul, not just into communities, but through schools and
Yes.
just having different projects that pull people together and say, let's not focus. We know that these issues are there. We're not putting our head in the sand, but let's focus on what we can do together. And I just find that so refreshing that you took the courage and the bravery to turn something around. I think you're just a pioneer and a wonderful, refreshing role model for all on
Thank
what to
you.
do in very tense situations. These are very
Yes.
tense times.
It's
And
extremely
so
tense.
I appreciate your ability to take your skill set
Thank
of,
you.
of art, you know,
Yes.
art, which is so beautiful, and say, what can we do to beautify the world and beautify the community? And while doing that, it's very holistic to everybody and just eases the stress. So thank you for that.
What I think would be really nice, I was just sort of thinking off the top of my head. So if that's a bad idea, I can edit it out. But I thought if we had like a quilt that would be sort of like welcoming diversity in Greenburgh and encouraging people to
Absolutely.
respect each
Beautiful.
other's differences. And then we did like a really nice quilt and we put it, say, in the auditorium where the town board meets.
Yes.
That's something that
That would be fabulous.
that like in the future, you know, 20, 30, 40 years from now, people will look back and it's almost like a symbol of what we want the town to be.
absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm saying maybe we could think of something like that, because then it's sort of even more, there's like a
Special.
message, because even at the local level, people don't always respect
No.
people's right to differ on political
absolutely.
views.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
in a democracy, just because like I'm town supervisor doesn't mean that everybody has to agree with me. People should feel free to disagree, or free to disagree with the town board, to express themselves and to have a dialogue. And that's what I really would like to do, like a First Amendment
Yeah.
quilt.
Disagree with respect.
Yeah. And you both make an excellent point. Respect for all, inclusivity. And at the end of the day, we all have shared goals.
Yes.
Irrespective of where you come from, we all care for the similar things. So on the same note, and we have spoken briefly about this to Paul as well, to have a committee where these type of projects, share ideas can come to fruition. And the goal would be, yes, we can do a lot of, like say, Eid celebration, Diwali celebration, all those things. We can make quilt. But if we are not educating people, education needs to be a part of all these interactions as well. And that will give us an opportunity to spread the education.
So like what I would think like a next step would be maybe speaking to, first of all, maybe coming up with something I could post on the town website, saying, do you want to be
Yes.
part of a committee?
Yes.
And then and maybe saying, this is what we really want to, focus on. Then maybe we could go to the town board and ask the town board, to support this, and and work also with Sarah Bracy White of our Arts Council, and then if everybody embraces it, then we could start getting the volunteers, and I think anybody on the town board who has questions, they could see the existing quilt, because this is
Yes.
because
Like a model.
it's a success story.
Very
that brought together
successful.
the whole village of Ardsley. Now, the Ardsley quilt temporarily was located at the community
Library.
center.
No, it is currently at the library, and we want to display it at Greenburgh. And if once we finalize the details, then it can come to Greenburgh, and that is the time, I think, when everybody can see it. So I went to Ardsley Historical Society board meeting a couple of days back, and the quilt it's in the they do it at the library, and the quilt was at the back. So when the quilt was being discussed, because the final home, when the quilt is not being displayed at some place, it's going to be at the Ardsley Historical Society, and everybody could look at it, and then they can understand
Yes.
what we are talking about. So if the
Historical Society is at McDowell. Is that at one of the Pescone Park? Is that where?
no, that's the museum. The office of Ardsley Historical Society is in the upper floor of the library, public library, Ardsley
great.
Public Library.
I see.
So therefore, they have the meeting there, the board meeting, and I was attending the board meeting. And also, I would like to mention that when we started the project, we found out that Ardsley Historical Society had many other quilts, which were just folded, and they used to take them out once a year, I think, for the display. And this was a discovery which Mayor Cablevision did, and so it's somehow integrated that other member of Ardsley community, they have thought about quilt making, and they did that, and in which they also captured the essence of the village of Ardsley. So those quilts are there too. So at the opening ceremony of Ardsley Story Quilt, we also displayed the other quilts from the Ardsley too.
How many participants did you have?
So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
this is a very good question. So we had a lot of support. The most important was Mayor Cablevision. Without her support, nothing
Yes.
could have been done. Deputy Mayor Ardsley, my co-chair Mona Swanson, and we had close to 25 participants. But I would like to make a special acknowledgement to all the youth volunteers because they are the future of our community. Rose, Zafina, Zara, Aziza, Rebecca, Emelina, Oriana, Ian, Manuela, Catherine, Inara, Ananya, Matilda.
What are the age ranges?
12 Matilda, yes.
What are the
12
ages?
kids. So they were, I think the youngest one was 8 years old, and the oldest one is first year in college. And two of the kids were like externship, internship. So this project will also be a great opportunity
To collaborate with
yeah,
schools, to involve schools.
So it's
And it-
intergenerational.
It
So,
was
yes, it was
Oh,
intergenerational.
fabulous.
Mathilde did.
Fabulous.
She was our extern for this last summer. She worked with me. She did the research. She found out she is an artist. She wants to be a psychiatrist, and she thought that studying art will be. And I thought that's excellent. And then when Mathilde went to college, then Ananya Shukla took over. And she did the documentary, which we played on our opening session.
Yep.
So, yes.
That's really.
And she's still working. She's going to write a paper. Ananya is writing a
should.
paper,
You should.
and she's going to submit it to Ardsley Historical Society. About one of the section is the Ardsley Story Quilt and other quilts of Ardsley.
How long does it take an individual to do a quilt? Like how long, how many hours of involvement?
It took us 1.5 years.
No, but I'm talking about an
Individual.
individual. Like,
The whole quilt?
yeah, to do
Or
one-
just one square?
square.
Yeah, one
It
per-
depends how much work you want to put in.
But for the average person,
So I count myself as an average and the biggest procrastinator. It took me no more than 2 days. And here I would like to mention Dr. Ruchi Agarwal. And Ruchi and Vikas, they have been so active in the community. She completed her amazing square in no more than over a weekend, and she was sitting at each and every parties,
Oh, wow.
working on the square. And another example is Fong. She
a
was
lawyer.
so like she's a lawyer by profession, and she was like, I can't do it. And we have her in the podcast where she's so skeptical, and everyone would be like, maybe her square is not good, but she ended up making 2 squares,
And
that
beautiful
was, yeah,
ones.
beautiful
Wow.
ones.
so when you're doing, we're running out of time, but when you
This
do
is
like a quilt,
exciting.
like say if I'm at a town board meeting, could you do multitasking? Could you basically be working on the quilt while you're listening to a presentation?
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Like if somebody's yelling at me, it should be,
To keep your thoughts positive and being creative. Creativity
Working on my
helps you
script.
always.
Yeah.
To stay on the right track.
so people are talking and having discussions while they're.
Yes, we can do
That's
that.
great.
Yes.
So we're going to provide residents with information as to how you could get
Absolutely.
involved in this committee, and hopefully we'll do something in the coming year. So
Yeah.
I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor. Do you want to mention if there's any contact information if somebody wants to reach out to you?
Yes. We did create the email group, which will be posted with the interest form. It was Greenburgh Story Quilt at gmail.com.
Do you have a website?
Actually, this is where the role of the
Intern.
existing intern will come into picture. And we can always take the help from the kids to make the websites, to help with doing the podcast, spreading the word, and the most important, documenting what we are doing in the form of research paper or even a news article.
Great. So thank you very much. We
We have a Facebook page for Ardsley Story Quilt. We
Yes.
have a Facebook page.
Great. So thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.